I'm Paul Levinson, and welcome to Light On, Light Through, episode 157, Review of The Crown, Season 4, Margaret Thatcher and the Queen, Charles and Diana. Well, I thought I'd lighten up the run of politically oriented episodes of Light On, Light Through I've been giving to you for the past few weeks. Seems like the past few years. And I thought I'd shake it up a little bit with a review of a fabulous Netflix television drama, The Crown. Although, come to think of it, there's a lot of politics in that show as well. And my wife and I just finished binge watching it last night. I thought it was the best of the series so far. It had two toweringly important stories, each brilliantly acted and powerfully presented. Margaret Thatcher, the UK's Iron Lady, contemporary of Ronald Reagan from my American perspective, was tour de force portrayed by Gillian Anderson. Her acting, excellent to begin with in The X-Files, just gets better and better in everything I've seen her in. And her conversations with Olivia Colman as Queen Elizabeth II were nonpareil in The Crown Season 4. Woman to woman, perfect tones of voice and gestures and head inclinations and facial expressions. Those conversations are a veritable textbook of how to act. And the true story of Thatcher, the combination of her real toughness and real vulnerabilities, including her clinging love of power, rang bells as to what's happening right here in the United States right now. Now, Donald Trump has none of Thatcher's steel. His toughness is all bravado. But he has the same love of power. And although Thatcher believed in democracy, albeit as a hard-eyed conservative, and Trump is a fascist at heart, their penchant for clinging to power is disturbing to contemplate. And it was definitely portrayed by Anderson as Thatcher in The Crown. Now, Charles and Diana, as we all know, is a modern-day Shakespearean tragedy. Josh O'Connor has Charles at least as far as we saw the real Charles in the news clips. Well, O'Connor has that Charles pretty well down pat. The slightly bent head, the almost diffident smile, all of that hiding a keen, sometimes nasty wit. In fact, in this season of The Crown, he was nasty most of the time. And there's a boiling well of anger in Charles at being stuck in this marriage and even in this life. And it makes a riveting counterpoint to Emma Corrin's Diana, innocent at first, growing into a thirst for fame, soaking it up, but also the beginning of a real humanitarian soul that leads her to hug a boy with AIDS in Harlem in New York City. And that's what was always so amazing about Diana. She blossomed into a truly beautiful person, both in how she looked and in her soul. And the two of them, Charles and Diana, drive themselves and hence the larger family to the breaking point. And that's one of the prime two threads in this great fourth season. The Queen, of course, survives it all and succeeds better politically than personally, but still tolerably well at this point as the royal family celebrates an internally frosty Christmas in the closing scene of the season. Now, I have no idea how accurate this all is. I, of course, know nothing of Elizabeth personally, and truthfully, I prefer ancient Roman history to England for the past 70 years. But, as I always tell my students, docudramas never tell the complete truth, not even most of it. But you know what? That's okay, because at their best, they can tell deeper truths about human affairs, and in this case, in all senses of that word. And this season of The Crown does one fabulous job of that.
The Light on Light Through podcast.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this short review of The Crown Season 4. I'll be back here soon with another episode of Light on Light Through. I might go back to politics. I might do another review. In the meantime, stay safe and sound and enjoy.
Athens, 2042 AD. She ripped the paper in half, then ripped the halves, then ripped what was left again into bits and pieces of history that could have been. Sierra Waters had read once that, years ago, it was thought that men made love for the thrill, while women made love for the sense of connection it gave them.
Curled Up with a Good Book says, Sierra Waters is sexy as hell. You can find out more about The Plot to Save Socrates by Paul Levinson at theplottoSaveSocrates.com.
Paul Levinson Silk Code, about an ancient biotech war raging on in secret for centuries.